what and what you gonna do about it. So I told him. And I done it with the competency to know to overthrow the papal bull that the Pope issued in the 1301, saying that all humans on earth was imbeciles in law, and therefore it became the white man's burden to civilize the heathen. And in their terminologies, the implication is that to civilize the heathen is force his ass to learn these laws that we work by in order to overthrow they're gonna be subjugated under us for eternity. So he can be the papal see. I blinded his ass. He won't see much now, right? He can keep calling on the Dragon Queen. The bitch can't help him. She dead. She been beheaded. They no longer under the archonic rule of Rome. Babylon fell in their face and they wasn't even watching. They wasn't even watching. And now they want to talk about aftermath.
What's keeping them artificially functioning?
The people's ignorance. That's all they feed off of. They're vampires.
As long as the people is contesting their organic rights to the earth, anywhere on the earth, then the inorganic beings that came here with hostile intentions remains here, but they in flight mode right now. That's the message from the Pleiadians earlier.
Yeah, they're in flight mode.
That reptilians are in flight mode in every direction. They can't go nowhere.
And you know, some of them been trying to leave and discovering that they blocked.
Yep, they blocked by a Pleiadian light lock into form of Metatron's cube, caught between the lunar magic and the dark light satellites frequencies. So they caught between technology and sorcery.
And if they try to force their way out, they will vaporize.
That's it. That's the dismal abyss that they will be sent to, trying to get out of here. Because ain't nobody getting out of here without paying for their dirt. I don't give a fuck.
They got an answer.
Right? So the books is out. The books is open. And these motherfuckers been found wanting. Right? They haven't done right by the righteous people of the earth. So now the righteous people of the earth got a whole lot of pre-karma to cash in, and they don't have the means to pay it. So now they want to run. They know where to run and know where to hide. They got away before. This is the land of Tahuti. The land of the feathers, the bird clans. They fucked up when they came over here. Because when you see me, shit got bad. That means the ones that put us in the condition couldn't remember what they did to get us out. So I had to figure it out. Farrakhan told me it was going to be like unscrambling the egg and asked me if I was up for the challenge. I said, unscramble the egg, it's almost impossible, but it ain't impossible. I tried. So I unscrambled the egg. Going to the fifth dimensional plane of fourth, playing 5D chess with the invaders. They lost. We won. Checkmate, motherfucker. And then you can take that to the bank and cash that shit in if your bank's still open.
Speaking of Farrakhan, I know there were a couple comments in about tell Farrakhan to open the books. I'm not sure what books. Do you know what book or release the books?
Farrakhan got files on the enemies. Remember, a lot of us don't remember Malcolm X didn't just die as a opposition to Elijah. He ran a red herring.
Yep.
The murder plot was to get Elijah, but they feared Malcolm more. So Malcolm read the red herring, draw the heat, and told Elijah who all the dirty players was in the public domain.
Mm-hmm.
When he ran the dirty players down, we thought he was just calling names, but he was like, the people in the streets, no, I'm not telling on nobody. The police told me this. This is how I know. Now he already telling you that the people in the street know he ain't telling. And the reason why they know he ain't telling, because they know it and the police know it. The same motherfuckers that murdered Clans 13X. They the same ones. The same ones that slaughtered almost all the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar family in D.C. They the same motherfuckers. The same ones that was acting like muftis until Noble Drew Ali went to sleep and decided to give him up to Rome, as they call it.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't get to him past his muftis when they was before they got infiltrated. They seen all threats coming. All of a sudden, now they don't see the threat coming. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit in with the moves of the original mufti staff of the Moorish Science Temple. So when Farrakhan opened the books, he got the names of all the dirty players, going all the way back to 1913 with it.
Mm-hmm.
So when he opened the books, he can call their name out, the living and the dead.
Mm-hmm.
And he can tell you exactly what they did, who they done it with, who they made their allegiances with, who paid them off. Most of them was paid off by Prescott Bush Inc.
Mm-hmm. That's why they would never show the people the FBI papers that indicate those who they were controlling with the COINTELPRO operations, which was initiated long before they admitted to it. They admit that they initiated it around 66. That's been operative since around J. Edgar Hoover time.
Well, you got to remember, the same program under a different name is how they deceived and arrested Marcus Garvey.
Yes, absolutely.
It was the same leadership that put that program together.
Yes.
Right? They the same ones who paid for the assassination of JFK, Robert Kennedy, Martin Luther King, and John Lennon.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The same dirty hands, the same motherfuckers.
Yep. Same unclean hands.
So when they want him to pull out the books, this is what they talking about. He gonna do it.
Because they got all the records. They always kept meticulous records.
They wasn't allowed to do nothing to us without recording it.
Yep.
Yeah, I know you addressed this, but I'm gonna since it's in here, would you just make it plain one more time? Jay Kane says the person who claimed Pelosi's office was quote unquote pale skinned. Those pictured with the totem pole look like $5 Indian. Where's the so-called indigenous person and all this? I think you said.
I said we sent the people in that look like them.
That's what I heard you say.
The same way that they came in and did us in the beginning, it's the same way we had to exit this motherfucker. We had to use the same strategy they used to enslave us to get out of the slavery. We just had to play it in reverse. Right? So it ain't no secret who he was trained by, because he tell you he was trained by the shamans that's native to the land. He told you that. And that he was sent in by Q, the QAnon. Right? This is before any of the occupation took place, because he had to be clearly identified and who he was working for on the record, for the public record in the public domain.
And people need to know that the QAnon was not set up with Trump. It was set up with Lincoln.
Yep. So that's a lot deeper than what they ready for, Ty. They can't even handle this surface shit we've been giving them. We start going back into the darker metaphysics and the countermeasures that had to be played. They'll definitely be lost. We can't go over their head that high.
All the stuff falling apart now, and ain't got what you can sit back and do. Really, stay spiritually high, stay positive, and watch the movie.
And try to participate in their system as little as possible. The less participation that old system has, the faster it falls.
Let Rome die.
Well, some are asking how one asks how can they live if they completely withdraw.
Look, they got to do the best they can with what they know.
Exactly, and they better be sincere. If they're sincere, Mother Nature take care of them. But if they want Rome, they got Rome, and they're going down with them. They have a right of choice.
Yep.
They have a right of choice.
Yep.
Because the rule
I'm
here,
tell you, it's gonna get hard for a short period of time before the ease comes.
The rule here is free will.
Yep. So you got to follow
Whosoever
your heart.
will, let them hear. Whosoever will, let them come. Whoever will, let them stick with Rome. Whoever will, honor their mothers and fathers. The choice is yours. You ain't putting it on nobody no more, and ain't sacrificing nobody for them anymore. You have a right to take your position. You're charged to take your position now. There's no longer straddling the fence. They can't play the serve two master game no more that they've been trained in.
Yeah, the old master did.
Well, I think most sincere Moors or melanated or people from the land.
And this is, keep in mind, this is around the world, not just here.
Well, no, I'm just in general. Folks just want truth. They want to know, since we're talking about love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. What is the truth? Because there's so many different, this group's doing this organization is saying that, this group's saying that.
Say this?
Folks are confused, but they want
to say this. Can we say this?
Sure.
Sincerity opens up all brains, in the head, in the heart, and in the stomach. They will know by both feeling and vibration. They need to stop looking and they need to start being. And if they be, they won't have to ask anymore. All they got to do is start paying attention to the signs of nature. Nature will tell them everything they want to know. All they got to do is be sincere.
I read nature like a book.
Tell them
I got
everything
into
they
an
need to know.
argument with a Hebrew Israelite told me if I don't have no book, I can't talk to him. I said, my book is nature. I read nature. He was totally befuddled. He couldn't comprehend that concept, but he could comprehend getting his life mission from a book. My life mission is written in the stars and it's written on the earth.
Let's remember this for everyone who's listening. And this is what's presented to all people in all secret societies in relationship to the Bible. And it is this. Never forget, and this is for all candidates of all secret societies, that the church did not come from the Bible. The Bible came from the church.
Bing, 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 bing.
Not just that, keep in mind, the original text of the Septuaginta, before they altered it and took it into Rome's hands of the dark side of Babylonian magic, is 777. Now they got 66. However, look at 6 moons of the Gregorian calendar that they've been using. 6 days, 6 moon, and guess what? All of this stuff is going to be exposed, and a hybrid Europeans themselves are going to start telling the truth because their middle class has been dissolved, and all the secrets that they've been holding from all the Aboriginal people, they're going to start telling to try to save themselves. All you got to do is sit back, keep true to yourself, and listen, because they're going to tell you now.
Step into your God form. Don't take sides. Check the receipt.
And observe.
And watch what takes place in the upcoming weeks. Because this is about, like I told you, I got the message today that there's an incoming major event. I don't know what it is, but it's coming from a Pleiadian source. And on the flip side of this, then we will be back 5-dimensional frequency vibration, meaning higher knowledge, higher wisdom, and higher understanding, and they won't be able to deceive us no more anyway.
Exactly. Like we said, they can't, because everything that was built in the 3rd-dimensional venue of the Piscean priesthood, it can't survive in the light of the Aquarian light anyway.
And that's what all this is about. It's about the closing of the old age, the Piscean age, where everything was underwater and murky, to the air age of Aquarius, which is the moisture of the air. So we restoring the shoe and Tefnut balance, and we be placing the Shu-Men resonance back to its proper balance, male to female, and taking out the double masculine polarity in the grid that caused us to be in a stupor called the spell of Kingu, or the spell of sleep. Once the stupor is broke, then we start getting what we call in modern so-called conscious community downloads. Mother Nature gonna tell you everything you need to know if you listen to that inner voice. Listen to that inner voice over everything I say, because it's gonna tell you what's right, even if I make a mistake. Right? So I don't gotta always be right. I just gotta always tell the truth as best I can.
And stay true to the path.
Yep. So they told me unscramble this egg, is unscrambled. Back in the shell. Humpty Dumpty back on the wall. Unlimited potential, that is. Right? So now we're going to let the eagle hatch the egg and see what this unlimited potential produce. This is the coming together of the divine masculine and divine feminine in a joint effort to put Big Mama back on her throne and get away from the rogue system of invaders that came here.
And the blowing of the trumpet means this on another level. Both sound, colors, etc., and vibrations will be used for healing. It is ancient. And so where is the dark priesthood that have been making the people sick, sound and vibration will be used to heal them, to put them back into a vibrational state so that they can ascend. Now that's the truth. However, their will to accept it is their own determination. They have a choice.
Yeah, because you don't have to wake up if you don't want to. You can drop dead if you choose to.
Whatever they want, that's what they got.
That's where we at. We getting away from all that. You need a dictator to dictate your reality. You got an option to participate in the creation of tomorrow, because it ain't here yet.
I, self-law, am master. Your choice.
We just need to come together. We need to agree to disagree.
We won't come together because there ain't gonna be no choice. This is what it is. See this? Remember what we were saying for years. The people are going to come together not because there's been a lack of people who have been willing to sacrifice their personal lives to bring this information to the people. They're going to come together out of pain. And if they don't recognize the pain now, it's still their choice. Because some people want this third dimensional energy experience. And they didn't want to recycle. They have that right, because this is a school too. You got to remember, Midgard is a school.
Yep. Weak and insufficient as thou art, O man, and good. There's one thing in which you are firm and obstinate, and his name is misery.
However, they're not going to be blaming you on nobody else. That's the whole point. This is really what they're trying to do. They're trying to imply their responsibility of spiritual development on others. They're not getting that off. That's not happening. No more sacrifices.
That's what I've been saying that on the record over 3 years ago. Won't be no sacrifice this time. Everybody gonna get exactly what they earned. Good, bad, or indifferent. If it's yours, it's yours. So if you reap the unjust reward by being unjust, you're gonna get that reward. And if you follow the goodness in your heart and been the best person you could and pursued the path of righteousness, you're going to get a righteous reward. Right? So when we put this in the public domain, this is bigger than me and Taj. We know what's going on. We just trying to get the people to understand there is no division. The division is in the ignorance. The knowledge understands what's taking place. The ignorance is blind to the knowledge. Right? So we blinding them with science, but this time it's more science between Blue Lodge and Red Lodge, and we don't have no discrepancy in what we're saying. Taj told us successfully how to navigate the contract for 50 years. The contract over. Now I came to tell y'all the contract is closed. That is expired now. You no longer have to participate in trying to tightrope walk around the enemy right? We've been Nui at the gate. We've been in perpetual war for 500 years. I came to end the war because after the war comes prosperity. You can't have war and prosperity at the same time. That's why they starting the wars.
In relationship to what Brother Rod has just stated, Jawali said this: "Come all ye Asiatics of North America, and what? Take your places among the affairs of men." It can't be no more direct.
And
but
Marcus Garvey,
yours. You are creators and makers of your own.
And Marcus Garvey said, "Up, you mighty people, do what you will." The most important word is will. Because if you don't use your will, your enemy or you
remember me, reconnect me to my purpose, to myself. And was it you who said that the lights they throw in your face are like the white that the men in black do?
Right. Now look, I thought I was crazy when I first seen this, right? Because I seen them when I came out, I seen the bright lights, and I remember